Welcome, my name is Colleen Towkate. I'm the sewing specialist here at Fons & Porter. In this Quilting Quickly tutorial, I'm going to show you how to put together the blocks for the quilt called Christmas Cozy. If you'd like to purchase our pattern, please visit our website. We're going to be using 10.5-inch pre-cut strips, and we've got a really great collection of kind of modern Christmas fabrics, so you could use more traditional if you'd like, but this is a wonderful one-block quilt. And we've got a fun little kind of almost a Christmas star snowflake looking fabric as a background. So we're going to take those 10.5-inch pre-cut squares, and because we have a great collection of fabrics, we're going to cut from those. We're going to use just about everything. The block looks like this if we isolate it. You can see there are two squares, and then we have a series of triangles coming the other direction, kind of making almost like a bow tie effect. So what we're going to be doing is cutting the squares that follow the instructions. We're going to be cutting large squares of fabrics from each of the wonderful prints. And I've got those here. I'm going to slide this block off to the side. Some we're going to be using just as the square, and others we're going to be using a little bit larger ones, and we're going to pair those up with backgrounds. We're going to make triangle squares here. This comes next. But what we're going to do with these two fabrics then is a background and a print we're going to put together. And I've got this one marked, but I'll show you how we go about marking that. Using a Fons & Porter 1/4-inch seam marker like this, we can lay that tool on the diagonal across the block. There's a black and yellow line that goes down the center. We line that up from corner to corner on the block. And then we can mark on each side of that tool, and that will give us our seam, our actual stitching line, so that we leave a 1/2 inch in between them, and we can cut down between, make two blocks at once, so we don't waste any fabric. So we're going to take those over to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch right on the line, not worrying about a 1/4 inch seam at this point. And we'll set that. This is a good one if you're a rookie and you aren't really confident in your 1/4 inch seam at this point. This is a good practice. Just following a line, getting used to the sound of your machine, how it stitches, how to maneuver it under the needle. So this would be a good beginning kind of project. And then you can worry about your 1/4 inch seams when you're putting your blocks together. But here we go, getting this one done. The fun part about doing this process is it's kind of a 2-for-1 kind of thing. So when we get done taking that out of the machine, you can see that I've stitched on both those lines I've drawn. Now I can either use a rotary cutter or I can come in with the scissors and cut down between the stitching lines. Try to stay up as close to center as possible. Okay, and then when I open these up, I'll have what we call triangle squares on from each of these pieces. Now take those to the iron, and you usually want to press your seam allowances toward the darker of the two fabrics. So we're going to set our seam first by just getting it hot, and then as we open it up, we're going to push that seam allowance toward the light blue little reindeer print. And then we're going to do the same thing on the second one. And then there's one more process we can do. We're going to do to this block. Remember, we had a series of triangles that we talked about in the center of our quilt block. And that is to add the red piece that goes on here. So we're taking these pieces, and you can see I've already marked. This time I'm marking from corner to corner with one line across. And what we're going to do is we're going to add that on top of the blueprint side, like this. And I'm just going to do one of them so that you can see the process. Now you have to keep it straight because on one of them you're doing 2 stitching lines. On the second step here, adding the small square, you're just doing 1 seaming line, corner to corner. It's very easy, and how do I know? Because I've done this before, sewn or marked in the wrong place. But with this one, corner to corner, when you flip that out then, you have, as I slide this in, you'll see that this is a 1/4 of this block. Now, we want to take away that layer, so we're going to come in and trim away those underneath layers. We just need to leave approximately a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It doesn't have to be perfect. and we've got 1/4 of the block there. So then you just need to lay out your pieces. We'd repeat that same process. I'll just fold this as a place marker. He goes in here, and you're going to be assembling a 4-patch basically. You would put pieces together here into a row, here into a row, and then join the rows together. One little thing on this is that the fabrics are directional. On some fabrics you'll notice, on this is a reindeer print and here's a snowman print, all the snowman heads are aligned right side up. Some people that bothers, others it doesn't. So it's one of those things to note when you're working with your fabrics if it's directional. Once you get done creating that block, you can notice then they're all put into the quilt, tilted the same direction. So kind of note that so that you create that pattern, kind of a tilted block all the way across your quilt. And this one's finished with a fabric that was a printed stripe, but it's a diagonal stripe, so you get kind of a candy cane effect on the binding. A fun way to finish Christmas cozy. If you'd like to see more of our Quilting Quickly tutorials, please visit our website. Thanks for joining me.